Life in North Korea, the most boring country in the world. Travel documentary. Imagine living in a world where Google doesn't exist, where owning a car is out of the question, and even choosing your hairstyle isn't up to you. A place where time moves differently, where the year isn't 2025, but rather it's 114. Welcome to North Korea, one of the most secretive and isolated countries on the planet. But behind the walls of control and mystery, what is life really like here? Is it as vibrant as it seems, or is it, in fact, surprisingly dull? Join us as we venture deep into this hidden world, uncovering the daily lives of its people, and finding out why North Korea stands as a place unlike any other. This is Life in North Korea, the most boring country in the world. Number 15. Overview of North Korea. A world without Google, Netflix, or even motorcycles. A place where the pace of life feels frozen in time, like it's 114, not 2025. Welcome to North Korea, a country that remains one of the most isolated and enigmatic on Earth. With a population of about 26 million, North Korea is often compared to the size of Mississippi, covering approximately 120,000 square kilometers, 46,500 square miles. It's a place where the bustling energy of New York or the ever-present traffic of London feels like a distant dream. In Pyongyang, the capital city, life is meticulously planned, and the streets are eerily quiet. The surreal sight of female traffic officers, poised and graceful, managing the sparse flow of cars with perfect precision. It's like stepping into another era. What's fascinating about North Korea is its deep-rooted cultural traditions, still intact in daily life. From the architecture to the clothing, and even the routine of its people, the country holds fast to its historical practices. But beyond these cultural symbols, there's an unsettling calm that sets this nation apart. Life moves at its own, slower pace, much like the distant past, with little indication of the modern conveniences we take for granted. North Korea's landscape is both stunning and harsh, with a coastline stretching 1,550 miles. The climate here is severe. Frigid winters that plunge to -30 degrees Celsius, -22 degrees Fahrenheit, and summers that are hot and humid, much like Florida. Yet, despite its natural beauty, electricity is unreliable, and many citizens still live without the comforts we enjoy in places like Bangkok or New York. Isn't it fascinating? This combination of tradition, isolation, and resilience makes North Korea both a mystery and an enigma. But it also raises important questions about freedom, technology, and the pace of progress. What would it be like to live in a world that has barely changed in decades? And what can we learn from a society so different from our own? Number 14. Life in the labor camps. Living in a place where a single mistake could ruin your entire family. In North Korea, an accusation of disloyalty could land someone in one of the country's notorious labor camps, often for life. These camps are brutal, with forced labor, inadequate food, and terrible living conditions. What's even more shocking is the 3 generations of punishment policy, where an entire family, kids, grandparents, everyone, pays the price for one person's alleged crime. It's a never-ending cycle of suffering, with no clear explanation of what crime was actually committed. The aim? To punish any dissent, control the population, and instill fear. These camps aren't just for punishment, they're a tool for control. It's chilling to think that such a system still exists today. But how do we define freedom and human rights when suffering like this continues. It's a wake-up call about the extremes some regimes will go to maintain power. What do you think about the 3 generations of punishment policy in North Korea? It's horrifying, isn't it? A single mistake can destroy an entire family's life. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Number 13. The healthcare system. Can you believe it? In the capital, Pyongyang, the elite enjoy access to cutting-edge medical facilities, while just a few hours away, rural areas face severe shortages. Basic medical supplies are scarce, and outdated equipment is the norm. It's like stepping into 2 completely different worlds, isn't it? In a country where the government promises free healthcare for all, why is it that only the privileged few in Pyongyang benefit from modern treatments? For the rest, especially those living in rural provinces, even basic healthcare seems out of reach. This divide between the capital and the countryside is impossible to ignore. What does it feel like to live in a country where healthcare is a luxury for some and a distant dream for others? Living in a place where your access to healthcare depends entirely on where you were born. In Pyongyang, advanced medical care is reserved for the elite, while in the provinces, people struggle to get the most basic services. Isn't that shocking? How does this inequality shape the daily lives of ordinary North Koreans? Number 12. Religion and beliefs in North Korea. Religion in North Korea. Oh, you can pretty much guess how that plays out. The government controls it so tightly, it's like trying to squeeze into your genes after Thanksgiving. Just doesn't work. Sure, there are churches and temples, but don't get too excited. These places aren't for the locals. They're just for show, a little PR for the outside world. It's like hanging up fake Christmas lights to look festive when you'd rather just skip the holiday. Enter Juche, North Korea's homegrown ideology. It's like a Tinder bio that screams, "Loyalty to the leader is my religion. Everything else is just noise. Forget traditional faith. Juche is the real deal here." So, what's that like for your average North Korean? Well, imagine living in a place where the regime picks your beliefs for you, like choosing your snacks at Trader Joe's, but without the fun of picking anything at all. How do you find meaning when loyalty is more important than faith? Every day for them is a balancing act between personal belief and political obedience. It's not just a struggle, it's a way of life. Number 11. The role of media and information control. In North Korea, information is power, and the government holds the keys to it all. The press, television, and radio, completely state-controlled. The only stories you'll hear are glowing reports about the leadership with an extra dash of criticism aimed at the West. No surprise there, right? Free speech? Well, it's about as rare as a Starbucks in Pyongyang. The internet? Oh, you won't be Googling anything anytime soon. Instead, they have Kwangmyong, their own approved internet, where you can only visit websites the government has given its stamp of approval. It's like a digital bubble with no access to the outside world. And don't even think about tuning into foreign media. Those are considered dangerous and banned entirely. And if you thought that was bad, guess what? North Korea doesn't follow the usual calendar. Nope, they use the Juche calendar, with the year 2025 being year 114. Why? Because it's based on the birth of Kim Il-sung, the founding leader. A perfect reflection of how deeply their system is intertwined with one man's legacy. Number 10. Life in Pyongyang. In Pyongyang, life operates like a well-oiled machine. Public transport is a strict affair. Most people rely on the subway, buses, trolleys, and taxis. You won't find any motorcycles zipping around. It's a clean, orderly city where the streets are free of congestion and chaos, almost like a stage set for a movie. No traffic jams, no honking, just a calm, efficient pace. Speaking of the subway, did you know it's the deepest in the world? The stations are a staggering 110 meters underground, making them not just a mode of transport, but a point of pride. The ride down takes about 3 minutes and 30 seconds, with a steady temperature of 18 degrees Celsius year-round. Sounds pretty comfortable, right? Number 9. Street culture in North Korea. So, you're walking through the streets of North Korea. What do you see? Nothing. Zilch. No food trucks or vendors shouting prices, just a few sad kiosks trying to sell candy and ice cream to kids. Because, of course, the country's future depends on sugar. Dress code. And the women? Oh, they look elegant. Picture a 1950s propaganda poster with the great leader's face proudly pinned to their outfits, because nothing screams class more than being a human shrine to a dictator. Style? Oh, it's very controlled. The people walk like they've just been told they're the main character in a dystopian novel. Shoulders back, eyes forward. After all, when every move is under a government microscope, you've got to look like you belong. No slouching here, just calm, composed confidence. Then there's the traffic police. Tall, sharp-featured, and moving with such grace that even ballerinas would take notes. They manage traffic like pros, while making sure you don't stare too long or end up in a cell. So you've seen the streets and their perfectly sculpted appearances. But when the streets go quiet, the real power shows up. Those crisp uniforms and rigid postures, they're not just for show. Behind them lies the true foundation of North Korea's control, the military. Number 8. Military service and the army in North Korea. All right, let's talk about something that's as unavoidable as the gray skies over Pyongyang, the mandatory military service. For the men? Well, you're looking at a solid 10 years of service. That's right, a decade of marching, training, and doing what North Korea loves best, maintaining control. As for the women, the military service is slightly less brutal. They're required to serve until the ripe age of 23. Still, it's a lot of years spent wearing that ever-so-impressive uniform and not much else in terms of freedom. But here's the real kicker. North Korea's military is massive. I mean, we're talking about 1 million active duty soldiers. And that's just the start. There are another 6 million in reserve. That's a staggering 1/4 of the country tied directly to the military. Think about that next time you're in line at a store. 1 out of every 4 people you see could very well be military personnel. It's a country built on control, and it all starts with the military. You'd better believe it's more than just uniforms and marching. It's a fundamental part of what makes North Korea tick. Would you ever visit North Korea if you had the chance? Type yes or no in the comments below. Number 7. Personal transportation in North Korea. Ever wonder how North Koreans get around? Well, don't expect the hustle and bustle of crowded roads like you'd see in most countries. There are about 30,000 cars in the entire nation. Yes, you read that right. 30,000 for over 25 million people. Talk about traffic congestion being a rare problem. And who owns these cars? The lucky few, of course, mostly government officials and military personnel. It's almost as if cars are more a symbol of status than a practical tool for getting from point A to point B. North Korea has been producing cars since the 1950s, but let's be honest, it's not exactly a car lover's paradise. You'll spot a few relics from the 1970s, like the Mercedes-Benz, Toyota, and the Volga 144. It's a strange world of luxury on wheels, but only for a very specific group. Does it sound like something out of a travel documentary? It sure does. How does this strange transport system affect the everyday life of North Koreans? You might be surprised. Number 6. Economy and living costs in North Korea. In North Korea, the economic system is a centralized, planned economy. And yes, you heard it right. No taxes. It's a structure where the government calls all the shots, controlling the economy from top to bottom. When it comes to essentials like housing, healthcare, and education, you're in luck. They're all free. But let's not get carried away. Free doesn't always mean top tier. Imagine healthcare that's free, but without advanced treatments or fancy hospitals. Now, the real question: how much does it cost to live here? The average monthly expenses are around $1,597, which is about 32% less than what you'd pay in other countries. Sounds cheap, right? But dig a little deeper, and you'll see that those numbers don't exactly match the living standards. Thinking of renting? A 45 square meter studio will cost you about 900,000 North Korean won per month. And for utilities, you're looking at 120,000 won for an 85 square meter apartment. But here's the catch. What does it really cost to live in a place where everything is free? Number 5. Iconic landmarks in Pyongyang. Ever wondered how North Korea defines grandeur? Well, look no further than the landmarks in Pyongyang, the heart of the country. These aren't just buildings. They're colossal symbols of power and control, crafted to leave a deep impression on anyone who sees them. First, we have the Rungrado Mayday Stadium, one of the largest in the world, with a jaw-dropping 150,000-seat capacity. Built in 1989, this isn't just for sports. It hosts massive events like the May Day Games, a display of the country's revolutionary pride. Then, there's the Ryugyong Hotel, a 105-story pyramid-shaped skyscraper that reaches for the sky. Designed to be a world-class hotel, it's a striking reminder of North Korea's grand ambitions and the gap between dream and reality. Next, we have the Kim Il-sung Square, sprawling across 75,000 square meters and holding up to 100,000 people. It's not just a square, it's a stage for the government to showcase its power and unity. Lastly, the Huche Tower stands tall, representing the Huche philosophy, the country's belief in self-reliance and independence. It's more than a monument. It's a daily testament to the political beliefs shaping everyday life in North Korea. Number 4. Major festivals. First stop, Day of the Sun, held on April 15th, celebrating Kim Il-sung's birthday bash. Imagine Coachella, but instead of flower crowns, you get tanks and 100,000 people waving cards in perfect synchronicity. Fun, right? If Control had a Netflix special, this would absolutely be the trailer. And don't you dare blink, because you might miss the Ararang Mass Games, a giant human screensaver where thousands of people jump, twirl, and smile like their lives depend on it. Because honestly, it kinda does. Guinness World Records officially recognizes it as the largest mass performance in the world. But you might just call it Cirque du Pression. Meanwhile, fewer than 10,000 foreign tourists enter this locked theater every year, according to the 2025 report by the United Nations World Tourism Organization. It's like throwing a massive Tinder party where nobody gets in unless they swipe right on the regime. You start wondering, who exactly are they performing for? You, history, or maybe just the ghost of Trader Joe's free samples? So, would you clap, stay silent, or quietly plot your exit strategy? Number 3. North Korea's food culture. North Korea's cuisine is deeply rooted in tradition, with unique dishes that reflect the country's culture and history. A standout is kimchi, the iconic fermented vegetable dish, which comes in hundreds of variations. Unlike the spicy version popular in South Korea, North Korean kimchi tends to be milder, offering a subtler flavor profile that reflects the country's preference for less intense spice. Another dish that holds cultural significance in Pyongyang is naengmyeon, cold noodles served in a chilled beef broth. It's a favorite meal during the hot summer months, typically garnished with fresh cucumber, a boiled egg, and thin slices of beef. The dish is not just a culinary delight, but also a symbol of the region's food culture. For a local drink, Traveldocumentary beer is a must-try. Brewed with technology imported from the UK, this beer has become a staple across the country, available in almost every restaurant and bar. Despite its foreign origins, it has become a point of pride for the locals. These simple, yet meaningful dishes offer a glimpse into daily life in North Korea, showcasing a culinary culture that is both resilient and steeped in history. Number 2. Rule for tourists. Tourists are not allowed to use the local North Korean won. Instead, you'll have to stick to euros, US dollars, or Chinese yuan. It's like being there, but always standing outside. And don't even think about snapping random photos. Strict rules govern everything. No pictures of military sites, unfinished buildings, or casual leader statues. When you photograph a statue, you must capture the full body. No cropping, no backside shots allowed. A recent traveler shared how guards once checked every single photo on his camera at the airport, deleting anything incorrect. It's not paranoia, it's protocol. As of 2025, North Korea remains one of the least visited countries, with only about 5,000 foreigners allowed entry each year, according to the latest data from the Korea Institute for National Unification. Every step feels scripted, every smile rehearsed. Would you dare to step into a place where spontaneity is forbidden? Number 1. Visa Guide for Traveling to North Korea. Traveling to North Korea is a unique experience, but before you go, there are some essential visa details to know. To visit the country, travelers must enter through either Russia, Vladivostok, or China, Beijing. Keep in mind that US citizens have been banned from traveling to North Korea since 2017. Meanwhile, European citizens can apply for a visa through an organized tour group. When applying for a visa, you'll need to submit a visa application form, passport-sized photo, and a copy of your passport. It's crucial to start this process at least 1.5 months before your planned departure to ensure that all the necessary paperwork is processed. North Korea is known for its strict regulations, and travel there is highly controlled. But despite the challenges, isn't it intriguing to visit a place where the rules of engagement are so different? Would you be willing to comply with these requirements for the chance to see one of the world's most secretive countries up close? As we bid farewell to the quiet streets of Pyongyang, the towering monuments, the deep subways, and the fleeting glimpses of daily life, one question lingers in our minds. In a place where everything is provided, yet nothing is truly chosen, can life ever be truly free? Thank you for joining us on this rare and eye-opening journey through North Korea. If you found this exploration captivating, don't forget to subscribe to Akit Travel Documentary. Leave a comment and share your thoughts with us. Where in the world should we explore next? Until then, stay curious, keep exploring, and join us again on ACT Travel Documentary. See you soon.